Good morning and welcome to Week 6 Fantasy Football Start Sit Show. We got all your questions, your trade questions, Week 6 questions. We got a game across the pond. We're very excited for Week 6. Catch all your Start Sit questions right now live on the Razzball Fantasy Football Show. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Good morning. We are back to the Quint box. I believe we trademarked a few years ago here. We got the 5-pack. I'm your host, Sky Guasco. Good morning from the West Coast. Matty Styles tapping in from the East Coast. Everybody else in between. That's Styles08 on the X machine. You can find Davey Cruz at Cruz128 as well. Derek Favret, Derek_Favret, and Jefferson Keys are at Jefferson_Deuce1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the program. Last week, we were shorthanded. We had a couple guys on bye. We got the full squad back. Excited about that. Dave and I will be getting our bye weeks coming up here pretty soon as well. Styles took the early one this season. Derek and Jeff off last week, so we'll be back with a full squad and looking forward to that. We got a lot of great matchups this week. Of course, we're going to give you our pick'ems for Week 6 as a full squad, and we'll get into all of your start-sit questions. We have a lot of you already tapped in, so we'll get to those here in a second. Should you care to hang out with us during the week as well, everything available at Razzball NFL on the X machine. You can, of course, subscribe right here, hit the button. Don't miss any of the action on the YouTube channel. All of these episodes are also repurposed on the podcast side for those of you on the go. Feel free to download the Razzball Fantasy Football Show on your audio networks as well. And of course, the main cheese, you can find all of our great content, all of our excellent articles for you for free right now at football.razzball.com. We are batting 1,000 on our replies for all of our questions. These guys are working extremely hard to get a question from you and respond to you at a max velocity there. So we appreciate their dedication to doing that. So if you ask questions during the week, they will be answered. And then we follow up here on Sunday mornings. You can also make sure to check out all of our exclusive tools available to you as well. I saw a shout out, Derek, this morning in a comment to the new gap wide offensive lineman rushing tool that we have, and it's new implemented this year as well. So we all have all those available to you at football.razzball.com. I suggest you pull those tools up off to the side if you can while we're going through these things. So when we reference slot versus wide or home and away splits, things like that, you can pull up those tools on your own as well and check out what we're getting into. Gentlemen, good morning. Matty, I'm going to kick it off with you, my man. One thing you're looking forward to in Week 6, and then we'll get into some pick'ems.
I'm looking for a Mariners wins against the Blue Jays.
So the Mariners game? Are they still playing? I wasn't aware.
If you don't know, now you know. Cy Young cannot carry a team. So let's move on. And I will tell you, the Mariners have a 1% chance if you listen to the fake media. Fake news says they don't stand a chance. Toronto's going to sweep them. So let's get it going. This is not a Seahawks discussion. This is Mariners. I'll get into the football swing after Jefferson tells us what happened on Monday Night Football.
Matt, quick question for the locals in the Northwest. You're a Seattle man at heart. I saw a fun question for Vancouver, Canada, BC, for those of you at home, British Columbia. Toronto, of course, for you geography majors, is all the way on the other side. Seattle is far closer. It's just over the border. But, of course, BC is in Canada. Technically, Vancouver fans, who are they rooting for? The Seattle Mariners just down the highway, or their fellow countrymen in Toronto all the way to the East Coast? Matt, what say you?
It's got to be the Mariners.
I agree. Davey Cruz, good morning, my man. How are you feeling?
Not an Expos text.
No. It should be, though. Hell of a farm system. Dave, good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm stupendous.
So what I'm looking for is actually in the rearview mirror. I'm a Giants fan, so Thursday night was an absolute party for us.
Congratulations.
It's funny. Ian Rappaport tweeted out he did a retweet of a post that I don't even remember what the actual post is, but he goes, "Tonight's game's going to be fun," and I subtweeted him and said, if you say a Giants game's going to be fun, you are obviously not a Giants fan. So I owed him an apology, and that game actually was fun. I don't remember the last time the Giants actually blew out a team, much less the defending world champions. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Today, I'm actually looking forward to seeing who's actually playing. Kyler Murray's going to be out this morning already. I got my head too far into the injuries right now, so I'm seeing a lot of gray clouds on the horizon. So let's just find out who's playing and who's not.
Well, we got a lot of injuries. We got moving parts. We had a trade, of course, that Derek, I'm sure, will let us know about. We have the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings on bye this week. We've already had the Thursday game. We had a game this morning as well. So we need to make sure that we're filling all those gaps. We do have a super chat in already, which, of course, we'll get to in just 1 second. Jeff, I'm going to introduce you, my man, and let you celebrate, and then we'll get to that super chat and come back to Derek. 49ers handle business. Giants handle business. And then the Jaguars had a game as well. How'd that go?
Stumble 6 for the win.
Stumble 6. I like that.
Unbelievable. Trevor didn't look good early in the game. Some turnovers, interception that should have been a penalty. But Jags found a way to win that game. And then they make a trade middle of the week to get better on the defensive side. Love that. Tyson Campbell, see you later. He's been giving up 40-yard catches every game this season. Then we got better with Newsom from Cleveland. Jags to the moon, guys. I don't know about y'all, but Liam Cohen, Coach of the Year. I'm going to throw it out there.
Can I get one, Jeff?
Duval?
Not bad. Not bad. I like that. Really quick before we get to the super chat here, which, Derek, I'm going to have you explain, actually, and say good morning, and then we jump into the super chat in 1 second. But as Jeff just reiterated, we're back to 1996. I want to give a couple updates here. Friends, this is the year that Ross and Rachel got married on the show. I want to bring that up. Bob Bark, right? They celebrated their 25th anniversary that year. I Love Lucy was heading off the air, unfortunately. Let's see. We had The Daily Show making its debut. Keenan and Kel, for those millennials out there, holding it down. AOL, Derek. I know that's your favorite network still. AOL dial-up was in its absolute peak with IM Messenger as well. And, of course, Blockbuster Video took over the nation. 1996, Jags to the moon. Good morning, Derek.
Yeah. I still have my Blockbuster stock. Yeah, I'm holding on to. You know, it comes around. So
pop quiz, really quick. There's one Blockbuster Video, alive and well, open to the community where you can go in, buy swag, and get a movie, actually rent DVDs, VHS, whatever. There's one in the United States. Where's it at?
I've heard this before, but I'm not going to come up with it. I'll know it when I
Bloomington, Indiana.
No, not quite.
Nope.
I'll open it up.
Isn't it in Alaska?
It is not in Alaska. I'll open it up to the chat. And chat, you know the rules. Do not on us. No Google searches. There's one Blockbuster Video, alive and well, in the United States. Which state is it in? And we'll break it down from there. Let's move on. Derek, good morning. How are you? Introduce yourself and week 6 excitement. Then let's get to that super chat.
Yeah, doing well. Anchored down. Vandy had an off day to lick their wounds or come back next week, get back on the championship run. One loss is not going to take you out, so we're good there. Yeah, and then the other thing I want to look at today is our man Joe. He's back.
Is that Bob LaMarco back there? He's looking nice.
Yeah, our man Joe back in Cincinnati. He's got some wide receivers, so it'll be interesting to see. Is what we saw at Cleveland was pretty much forgettable. But is that a trend? Is that what he is now, or he's just in the wrong Ohio City to start the season? So we'll see today.
I like it. Joe Flacco's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully he can resurrect that offense a little bit and at least, hit some dingers. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's get to the super chat here and let's open it up and I'll get back to myself here in just a second. Good morning, Scotty. Everyone say hello to Scott. It's been a couple weeks, Scott. Hope you're doing well, bud. Hope all your teams are doing well. Good morning to you. All right, let's commiserate together. I'm an Omarion guy myself, big Chargers fan. Herbert Homer, as y'all know, lost Hampton. Likewise, sir. How are we patching the wounds here? Need one running back and a flex. We have Derrick Henry, David Montgomery. I almost said Devery Henderson. I'm trapped in the 90s, my bad. Travion Henderson, thanks. Hashtag Bills Mafia, hashtag Buck Army. I salute you, my man. Good luck. All right, so we got Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, and Travion Henderson. Scott always with banger teams. We got 3 awesome options here. Who do we fill in, though, for Amari and Hampton being out? Styles will go to you.
I don't have the guts to sit Derrick Henry yet, but it's probably on the horizon. Age, no Lamar, but it should be a mutter game with the rain in Maryland. I'm going to.
His mutter was a mutter.
Henry. It's always about my mutter. I'm going to take Henry, and I think because Monty has a role guaranteed versus Henderson, who I admit currently I'm wrong on. I have not figured out what his role is, nor do I know if he's even going to take the field, get any carries. He's better and has an opportunity with Gibson gone for the year, but we just don't know if he's going to see the field. We know Monty's going to see the field every third drive. Monty can score. He can fall into the end zone. So for me, take Henry and Monty.
Dave.
Yeah, I mean, neither Henry nor Montgomery have great matchups, but it's like Matt said, they've got defined roles. Henderson, you almost got to think, basically, who's Terrell Jennings? Does anybody know?
No idea.
Okay, so he's the running back that they brought up from the practice squad to replace Antonio Gibson. So you got to think, unless they just feed Ramondre Stevenson over and over again, you got to think they're going to bring Henderson out. So I don't blame you if you want to take a flyer on it. For me, I'm going to go with Henry and Monty this week. But I'm hopefully looking forward to Henderson finally getting on the field.
Man, I hope you're right. Jeff?
Yeah, I agree to all the sentiments previously listed. It's going to be Henry and Monty. I know we all love Travion, but he just hasn't got the opportunity yet. As much as these rookie running backs, unfortunately, RJ Harvey included. But to answer the question, we're going to go Henry and Monty.
Deke?
Yeah, if we knew Ramondre was going to come out and fumble in the first series, then they may change our mind a little bit. But it's going to be Henry and Monty for me. I wrote up Monty in my running back article this week, and what I found was Detroit is ranked number 9 in zone blocking, rushing behind a zone blocking scheme. Kansas City against that zone is ranked 29th. So that's a particularly good matchup, which Montgomery runs 2/3 of the time. So he may not get, certainly won't get nearly the amount of carries that Jahmyr Gibbs will get, but he should be able to make something out of them. So, yeah, I actually like Monty, and I like him as getting into the end zone as well this week.
I'm going to agree with you guys. I'm going to go Derrick Henry and David Montgomery. Last week was a very emotional game for him. He had his sister come in who hadn't since a accident, so he had a huge game there. Obviously, they're on prime time versus the Chefs. That Lions-Chiefs game is going to be massive, of course. I love Travion as well, but the Saints are generally decent against the run. That game's on the road. Don't love it, and Saints might end up with a game script there. And Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. The Rams have given up the second fewest running back fantasy points. Absolutely hate it. But for some reason, I don't have the stones either styles to get Travion over Derrick Henry. So David Montgomery may be surprising to some is the most kind of automatic to me in that list of 3 right now. And then I'm going to ride Derrick Henry here. We'll see what happens.
Ooh, fun fact. The Rams have not allowed a rushing touchdown to a running back all season. Only team in the NFL, for what it's worth.
Yeah, they're due. And, Baltimore hasn't really had a spine for the last couple weeks since Lamar went out. This game's at home. If they lose this game and go to 1-5, which I think most people think that they will, they are in serious jeopardy, if not pretty much just exiting themselves out of the playoff picture, which is pretty wild in Week 6 for Baltimore Ravens, who some people picked, Dave, as their Super Bowl champ. So not looking good there.
Yeah, I also said the Raiders were going to be good. So why the hell would you listen to me?
To your credit, my man, you didn't say they would be good. You said they'd be better than they have been. So I'm going to let you off the hook a little bit. All right, Scotty, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much always for supporting the program. And Derek, can you let people know what Scott just did there with that financial inclusion to us there, Super Chat?
Yeah, we have a Super Chat option for you out there. Whether it's a $1, $5, $10, $50, get you to the front of the line is really what it does. So you get our full attention. You bump the line, you get right up to the top, get that hard question answered by the 5 of us right away. Get your lineup set, and then sit back and enjoy the show. So we appreciate everyone, helping us out. We do this for the love of the game, but certainly, it always helps to be able to, put a little something in Gray's pocket.
I appreciate it. We're gonna stack all that Super Chat cash and then get Styles a flight out west for Game 4 for the Mariners World Series sweep game when they beat the Dodgers in 4 in a couple weeks. So looking forward to that, and we appreciate everybody contributing there. All right, Jeff Marks, first of the line all the time. We're gonna have to start lining this up. I mean, talk about marbles in the jar. I mean, Jeff wakes up at like 3 a.m. local time, right? Puts his list of questions into the Razzball Fantasy Football Show, goes about his morning, and then comes back. Phenomenal dedication, Jeff. Good morning once again. Pick 1 in full PPR. My boy Kendrick Lamar, my toxic relationship partner, Calvin Ridley. Michael Carter came onto the scene big time. And Kimani Vidal, who nobody's talked about in 3 years, but Jeff is really excited about a while ago. What do we got here? Full PPR, pick 1.
As much as I want it to be Kendrick Bourne, it appears as if Jawan Jennings is trending towards playing today.
He's playing, yep.
With Mac Jones at quarterback.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Correct.
But I am going to give a name that's going to make Sky Dry heave. It's going to taste like bile. But when we get to the end, Derek's going to explain why I chose this player. So give me Calvin Ridley today.
You mean career highs last week, Calvin Ridley?
And Kendrick Bourne?
Go ahead, Dave.
Kendrick Bourne for sure. I'd like to say Michael Carter, but there's just not there's not enough there. You're going to have Murray out. Jacoby Brissett's going to be the quarterback. They're playing in Indianapolis. It's not a great matchup. Like Matt says, Jennings probably going to be playing. I don't think that really hurts Bourne too much. I think it gives him a chance to not be the focus. I don't think you're going to get a 10-142 game out of him. And Vidal, the Chargers came out this morning and said that Haskins is going to be the starter. So I'm not real high on Vidal. I don't know what to expect there. They're out trolling for running backs right now, the Chargers. So I'm going to go with Ridley too. I agree with Matt that Derek has swayed me to Calvin Ridley this week. So let's hit Ridley.
Epic.
Yeah, I'm back on the Ridley train. I'll let Derek speak. But yeah, we're going to go Ridley. I just don't trust the Cardinals this week. No Kyler Murray, who knows what that offense looks like with Jacoby Brissett starting. Love Vidal coming into last year. They brought in different players. Now he gets a chance. But as Dave alluded to, not starting, not a good look. But the Chargers are banged up on the O-line. And I worry about the Chargers. Sorry there, Sky. But they had 2 great weeks, but they've looked kind of average the past couple weeks. So let's roll with Ridley. Let's hide him early in the year. I think Cam's going to start getting in a groove now, and Ridley will pay dividends now.
Deke, give it to us.
Yeah, so for the viewers out there, they're getting a little peek behind the curtain of how things go here at Razzball. I just mentioned Ridley one time in a text, and everyone just says, "Okay, let's just go with what Derek says." So, so this is why I come here, because it's the only place in the world where I have a say in anything. So I love it. But no, I am actually high on Ridley this week, and it's not just because he's coming off a 10 target game last week, but the Raiders defense is allowing the third most fantasy points to wideouts, and of course Ridley is primarily a wideout. 78% of his fantasy points, almost 80%, 8 out of 10 are coming out wide. So this is a really good matchup for him. Tennessee's coming off I'd say a breakout game. I mean, it's they played well last week. Took one that they weren't supposed to take, and I think they learned things along the way. And one of them is, for Cam to get the ball to your primary wide receiver, and good things may happen. So I like this. I think that's going to continue. Maybe not to the level last week, but he should have a pretty good game. And the rest of the guys here, there's either competition or other indirect factors like Kyler Murray being out. That's really going to put a lot of question marks on someone like Michael Carter. So yeah, Ridley seems to be in the best position of these four to have a game. So I'll go Ridley.
Interesting. That's a 4-bar. My opinion literally doesn't matter at this point, which is actually quite nice because I want to say it's Kendrick Bourne. You guys can enjoy Calvin Ridley. Quick question for anybody that wants to know something like this. With those two guys, Kendrick Bourne and Calvin Ridley, if you threw Romeo Doubs in the mix, who had 3 tutties last time he was out there, would you start Romeo over Calvin or stick with him? Anybody feel free to jump in.
Today, Ridley against.
Yeah, are any of those guys playing the Cowboys?
No, but we got the Bungles for Romeo Doubs. So just curious there.
Yeah, there's so many options in Green Bay. I mean, it's if you're chasing that one game, you're gonna be disappointed 9 times out of the 10. You may have a fairly decent game, but not what we were looking for. So there's just too many options in Green Bay to really pick anyone to stand out every week.
Gotcha. And I've got some news coming out of Green Bay for later. So
excellent. I'm strapped in. I am as often as possible hate on the Raiders. Dave and I, we're buddies, but that's kind of my jam. I will say though, over the last handful of years, the one thing they've been moderately good at is defense out wide with their cornerbacks. So a lot of times I play guys against the Raiders thinking the Raiders are horrible, which they are, but then they end up shutting down my receiver. I'm like, WTF. And they're like actually good about that. That's my only concern with Calvin Ridley. Also with him coming back to 0 because he had not been great until last week. So
if there's only a place we could go to get some data on how defenses fare against slot wide receivers or wideouts, if there's only a place we could get that.
Make sure you check it out live for you right now at football.razzball.com. Let's move on. Jeff, good morning. Thanks again, buddy. Hiram, good morning. Flex spot, start 1 in PPR. Trey Tucker. Speaking of the Raiders, Tony Pollard, Jalen Warren coming back. I feel like we haven't talked about him in a few weeks, and our boy Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft, and frankly, it's not close for me. I'm not going to go with Floor Pollard. I don't like Warren against the Browns, who are actually an elite defense, top of the food chart. And Trey Tucker was a fart in the wind, and that has already dissipated. So I don't trust Trey Tucker moving forward.
Hold on, one second. Blew out like a fart. Is that Lieutenant Dan? Anybody?
I don't know. I thought I made that up on my own, but maybe not.
Blew off like a fart in the wind. Or no, you know what? That might be Red from Shawshank Redemption. Oh man, I'll get back to you. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, Trey Tucker had that one nice week. He's obviously got a high ceiling, but he just doesn't hit it too often. The Raiders, if they actually do two things well, they're decent defending the run and they're good rushing the passer. So I'm going to kind of pass on Pollard. Warren is facing the toughest run defense in the NFL. I mean, bar none. And he's had the bye week, so he's mostly healed up from the knee injury that kept him out of week 4. But I'm with Matt here. I'm going to go with Tucker Kraft. The Bengals give up the most PPR points to tight ends, so I'm going to take a flyer on Kraft. I know the going with a Packers receiver is like playing the lottery, but I'm gonna put my pick 'em in for Kraft this week.
Yeah, I'm all in with Kraft this week. Last week Cincinnati allowed Sam Laporta to have his best game of the season on 6 targets for 90 yards and a tutty. So I expect Kraft to get another tutty today. Bengals are the worst defense against tight ends, as Dave alluded to. So I think this is a good matchup for Kraft to get back on track after coming off a bye week.
Yeah, I'll agree that Kraft is the best safe play out of this. But if you're looking for a little bit more, I wouldn't dismiss Tucker. Unlike my esteemed colleague in the upper middle, he is not blowing in the wind. He's had one massive game, but he's had 2 games over 10 PPR points. So 3 out of 5 in double digits is not, is not unrespectable. So, and even more so, he's getting about 8 or so targets per game, 7 to 8 targets per game. Tennessee is really one of the weaker teams against wide receivers as well. In fact, they give up 70% of their points to wideouts, and Tucker is 87% wideout. So he has a good matchup. Kraft, on the other hand, I agree. The Bengals are the worst against tight ends. He's only getting 5 targets per game. So there's a smaller window, I think, for him to get what you need. So I think that's a safer play, safer floor. But if you want to, roll the dice for something a little bit larger, then I think Tucker is actually the better play.
Boy, 14.5-point favorites at home. The Packers over the Bengals. I feel like, Flacco somehow, came in and had a good game against them, against the Browns. Tucker makes the most sense. I feel like Pollard could still get the most points. And then Jaylen Warren, who knows? We're not talking about him, but he should be the PPR magnet here. And in full point, it feels like that's a good option too. I'm going to stick with Kraft as well because I think he's the most reliable option of these guys. But I don't know. I could see Jaylen Warren having a nice game as well. And the Steelers somehow back in first place in that crazy division. But Matt's right. The Browns do have an elite defense. I just feel like the checkdowns and all that kind of stuff and full PPR could lean his way. So let's go. Is that a 5-bar there for Tucker Kraft?
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nope.
Derek said Tucker.
Well, I said he's a better floor player. He's a better player. But if you want
one swipe, how's one swipe?
If you want to swing for the fences, again, another baseball reference.
Bring it on.
I would go Tucker, but the Las Vegas are getting the A's, so it's connected.
Look at that! Look at Eric just in his bag right now, as the kids would say. If you want to Cal Raleigh that one, you can go with. I got you. Really quick, gentlemen. The quote is, "Man up and vanish like a fart in the wind." That's the warden, Samuel Norton, expressing his wonder and disbelief about the disappearance of Andy Dufresne. It's my top 3 favorite movie of all time, Shawshank Redemption.
Real quick, Kyler Murray's officially out, and Quentin Johnston is inactive.
Ooh, I didn't see that coming.
Oh, yeah, he's got a hamstring injury. He was questionable.
Of course he does. He's Mike Williams now. But that all makes sense. I just didn't know it was coming. Jacoby Brissett, is that correct in Arizona, Dave?
Yep.
Jacoby Brissett will be the starter today, and Keaton Slovis will be the backup. So God help him.
Bless you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on here. This is Beach. Good morning, everyone. Today it's half PPR. We picked 3 players: Judkins, Etienne, Jamar Chase, Marvin Harrison, Tet McMillan. Cheers. A couple weeks ago, Matt, I'm not even sure. This might have been your bye week. Beach came on, threw Jamar Chase in a question, and we borderline rudely laughed him off the stage. That day, Jamar Chase was buns and absolutely worth a sit. So let's take this with an actual thought here. We're picking 3. Oh, go ahead, Derek.
So sorry. Before we get to the question, we just have to acknowledge.
Wow.
Not alive in 1996.
Hey, this is a kid's show. Blues Clues, Razzball Fantasy Football Start Sit Show, whatever you need to get going, Beach. We got you, man. Happy that you're here, buddy.
Yeah,
all good. Derek, go for it. Or I'm sorry, Matt. Matt, Matt was alive in '96, I believe.
Yes, I was 26.
Nice, love that.
This is interesting. I like every player that's on the list. I like every player that's on the list this week. However, I think in my pick'em, I have the Browns beating the Steelers. So I'm going to go Judkins. By the way, the in-laws are Steeler fans. They're on a cruise, so I don't have to answer to that this week. Judkins, based on volume, touches, he's the clear alpha for Cleveland. I like Teteroa McMillan to get his first touchdown of the year. And I'm going to go Jamar Chase just because of who he is. I believe, though, and we're going to get to a question 2 down the list here. I believe that Kyler Murray sitting and Jacoby Brissett playing bodes well for pass catchers for Arizona more than it does their running game. Brissett can stand in the pocket. He can throw the ball, I think, with more accuracy than Murray at this point, and he's just going to be in a game situation where he's going to throw. So give me, as much as I want to start Harrison, give me Judkins, give me Chase, and give me McMillan.
Love it, Davey.
Yeah. For me, Judkins and Etienne, I'm putting them in my lineup in half PPR. That just, for me, it pretty much comes down to Jamar Chase and Tet McMillan. And Tet's got a great matchup, but he's got Bryce Young. And Chase has got, we don't know. We don't know what Flacco's going to look like in Cincinnati. They don't have any better of an offensive line than the Browns did. But the difference is Flacco's got some pass catchers in Cincinnati. And he's actually got a decent running back as well. Judkins is is proven to be a good running back so far. I think I'm gonna take the first 3. Judkins, Etienne, Chase.
Jeff.
Yeah, the 2 that are automatics for me are Judkins and McMillan this week.
Which leads McMillan. Listen to that.
Yeah, Cowboys defense just trash. Panthers are going to have a nice day against them, and Teteroa is going to be a big part of that. Then I look at Etienne Chase. I think I have to go with Chase. I think Uncle Joey is going to target him a lot. They're going to have to. They're going to be behind, so that bodes well. Much as I love Etienne, he wasn't as involved last week against a good Kansas City rush defense. And then looking back here at Seattle's rushing defense, they haven't allowed a running back to go over 100 yards, I believe, since week 1, maybe, looking at some stats real fast. And I know Rachaad White had a decent game, but that was salvaged by touchdowns. So I'm weary of Etienne this week, despite his volume. So with that being the case, I'm going Judkins, Chase, and McMillan for me.
Yeah, just like my man Jeff, Judkins and Tet are automatics for me as well. I wrote up about Tet today or this week.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging no less than 8 targets per game, A-dot over 12 yards for Tet, and the Cowboys defense are allowing the most fantasy points to wideouts. So this just screams a Tet McMillan huge game. So I'm going to roll with him any chance I get. Judkins as well. I mean, he's really. I mean, did anyone see this coming? With all the situation there with him, and that he would be an automatic start in week 6. I don't think anyone predicted that. And then I agree with Matt. I think Kyler Murray sitting is going to help Marvin Harrison. I really do. But he would be my pick here if Jamar Chase wasn't on there. And so you've got to go with the best receiver in the league, even in that situation. Actually, it's a little better situation now. So continue to roll with Chase. He'll be a target monster. We'll see what he does with it, but you got to keep him out there. If Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase and he's on your bench, you're going to be, looking for sharp objects in your kitchen. So let's just stay away from that. Put him in your lineup. Roll with Judkins and slam with Tet.
Derek, you said that the best wide receiver in the league, but actually I see Ricky Pearsall's out today. Actually, I don't know if you caught that.
Okay, so he's the best wide receiver playing today. Sorry,
right. I just wanted you to be more clear.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't. I should have been more clear there. Yes.
No problem there. Judkins, Chase, and McMillan for me as well. I'm really hoping Tet blows up. I drafted him and a bunch of rookies in a lot of leagues this year, and they haven't really done what I thought they were going to do. I'm hoping Tet has his explosion game today. Judkins has been great, so like to see that a lot. Karen, good morning. Let's football, gents. Dave, do we have those shirts in print yet? I just want to check the status of those.
They're on back order right now, but we should have them by the holidays.
Okay, thank you very much. I would love a headband if you wouldn't mind for the cold season out here. Just let's football, gents, across the forehead. Half PPR, Swift or Chase Brown. Do you guys remember Chase Brown? He was pretty exciting last year. Matt?
And yes, I'd like mine in extra medium, please, for the shirt, and then extra large for the headband, if possible. And I'm going to go with Swift, and it's not close for me. It's going to be volume for Swift. It won't be sexy, but I'm taking Swift over Chase Brown at this point. I don't understand it, but that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I don't like either of their matchups. Actually, Washington's halfway decent against allowing PPR points to running backs. I want to say Chase Brown, but I'm going to go with Swift too.
Yeah, I'm going to go Swift. Coming off a bye week. Should be healthier. And they're going to need to utilize him against Washington more.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Chase Brown hasn't really done anything, but which Green Bay defense is going to show up? The one we saw in week 1, early weeks, or lately. They're coming off their bye, so I have to think that they're going to be pretty stiff anyway. So that's just not a matchup I want to target if I have a choice. So I'll go with Swift.
Swift is getting 15 to 20 opportunities per week. He's only scored 2 touchdowns on the season. His tops rushing yards on the season is 63, and his snap percentage has gone down from 80s to mid 60s. Don't love that. They're coming off the bye though. Fresh legs. I like it. No idea what Joe Flacco's actually going to do with Cincinnati. I'm going to stick reluctantly with Swift. I don't love either of these options right now, unfortunately. Epic fail. What's up? Welcome back. Good morning. Superflex. Dylan Gabriel. Let's save the Go Ducks for another week. Or Jacoby Brissett in Superflex. Again, folks, Kyler Murray out. Jacoby Brissett, our old friend for the last 25 years, in a backup role here. Dylan Gabriel, for those of you asleep at the wheel, the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns with Uncle Flacco, going to Cincinnati. So super flex option here, Dylan Gabriel or Jacoby Brissett, Matt.
I kind of like what I saw from Dylan Gabriel. However, game script, Arizona will probably be behind against a solid Indy team. So I'm going to go with Bill Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
Yep. The bettors aren't really expecting either of those teams to score a ton of points, but I'm not ready to jump on the Dylan Gabriel train yet. It was a lot of dink and dunks last week against Minnesota. I do think Brissett's got enough experience to run an offense he's been in all season. So, yeah, I'm going to say Brissett today.
Wow. Did not think we'd have these two players for Superflex question week 6. Fascinating times. I think I'm going to roll Dylan Gabriel on this one. He targeted tight ends a lot. Tight ends are the strength of the Browns offense with Hannon and Njoku. Steelers allowing the 4th most points to quarterbacks, surprisingly. And I think that Gabriel is better than what a lot of people are thinking with the whole quarterback controversy in Cleveland. He's a duck. So let's go with Dylan Gabriel this week.
I'm going to go Dylan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I like that the Browns are trying out Gabriel, before going to that other guy. But 5.4 average target depth for Gabriel. That is just you can't win that way. That's terrible. Give me Jacoby Brissett. We already mentioned what that may mean to Marvin Harrison Jr. and I like that for him as well. So I want the ball, get down the field a little bit more, and to me, Brissett gives you that opportunity more than Gabriel does. So I'll go Brissett.
Yeah, I usually love my Ducks, but a rookie quarterback, second start against the Steelers off a bye in Pittsburgh sounds a little scary to me. I'm going to go with the vet. Also, those of you tracking at home, the Jacoby Brissett revenge game against the Colts. So, of course, they'll be fired up for that. So, I'm going to go Jacoby Brissett. I think they both, unfortunately, have ugly starts there. Epic fail. Got an extra one here. Also, thought on Bam Knight. Love that. Would you drop Carter for him now? Yikes.
No. Nope.
Same.
Nope.
Would anybody make this move?
No.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I saw a lot of activity on Bam Knight this morning, so I just didn't really check into it. I'm wondering why that is.
Yeah, I again, injury bye week, I think excitement and new players, previous hype. Michael Carter's been awesome. I'd stick with him. Beach is pretty thrilled that the Vikings are on a bye week. I love it, man. Nice. All right, let's get another question here from Cosmo, and then we're gonna blast through about 5 of our pick'ems real quick. Once again, you're tuning into the Razzball Fantasy Football Show. We have a full squad here for you today, and we got all of our tools available. You can check out as we speak, and all of our articles available at football.razzball.com. Go check them out as we do the show. Cosmo, good morning to you and your pup. Half PPR. Need one wide receiver and a flex. Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf, Rashad White, and Bill Krosky Merritt.
Keenan Allen for me. And I really want to start Rashad White and Bill everywhere I would roster them. But with the question, the way it is framed here, and the weather on the East Coast, give me Rashad White. And when I say East Coast, I'm talking Upper East Coast. The Washington game is going to be messy, whereas the Tampa game is nice and pretty.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of DK Metcalf, but if you're going to beat the Browns, you're going to beat them through the air. And, you're going to plug him in. You're going to hope for a long play like he had against the Vikings. Keenan Allen actually is playing a reasonably tough Miami defense against wide receivers. So I'm going to go with Metcalf. I'm tempted to say Merritt. It sounds like Chris Rodriguez may be out tomorrow night, but I think I'm going to roll with Rachaad White today against the 49ers and not wait for that decision. So it's going to be Metcalf and White for me.
I'm going to go Keenan Allen and Bill. Bill came off a huge game last week. The Commanders are going to need him. The receivers are all banged up. Chicago's given, I think, the top 5 points to running backs. With QJ out as well, Keenan Allen's going to have to step up for them. So, yeah, I'm going to go Keenan and Bill for this one.
Well, first one's going to be Keenan Allen for me with Kenton Johnson out. I think it actually helps Ladd McConkey more than Keenan Allen, but I don't think that really changes his role. So I want to stick with him. And I'm also going to go with Rachaad White in this one. With Bucky out, we saw last week. He's getting the ball in the red zone. He's catching them out of the backfield. He's running the ball as well. So he's got all facets of the game covered. They'll mix in, others, but he should get plenty of work. And actually, Bill doesn't have a bad matchup tomorrow night. So I don't hate that call either, but I like White's a little bit better. So I will go Keenan Allen and Rachaad White in the flex.
I'm with Deke. I'm going to go Keenan Allen and Rachaad White as well. Fun thing to watch is all you guys are tuning in specifically to the 49ers game this afternoon while you watch that. Our boy Fred Warner, I was surprised with this. I had no idea this was actually the case. Fred Warner today is going to pass Patrick Willis, legend Hall of Famer, in franchise tackles, most tackles by a 49ers defender in general. I didn't think Fred was that close. He's only 4 away, so he could knock that down in the first quarter, first half potentially. But Fred Warner absolutely etching himself into the glorious 49ers all-timers. Pretty incredible.
And just before we move on, a fun fact for Rachaad White, that the Niners defense is giving up the 5th most targets to running backs this season. 5th most. And of course, that's where he shines. This is a half PPR, but still, the ball should be in his hand. So that looks like a pretty good matchup to me.
Yep, no Boza, and until we get Max Crosby, we don't really have any outside leverage there. So it's easy to dump it down and keep rolling. All right, I'm going to go with Keenan Allen and Rachaad White as well. Gentlemen, let's take a pause just for a second so we can speed up the program here. Everybody, we'll take a quick pause. We're just going to do 5 pick'em, so have your sheet up and ready to go. Also, one of you guys, and I won't mention who to call you out on the air because it's rude and I don't do things like that, mention that you had a certain team for a pick'em, but I can guarantee you actually have a different team in that exact game. So make sure you double check all of your picks as we go down the list here, because as you all know, final answers are final answers. Thursday night, everybody went with Philadelphia. So did America, except for Dave's heart. The Giants, of course, upset everybody. Then we all go Denver this morning in London. The Jets are currently winning, of course, because the NFL knows exactly what they're doing. Right now, Matt Stiles still has a commanding lead, 51 W's. Your got 2 picks. That's right, folks. You can count them on one hand. 2 correct answers last week, plummeted from a decent second place all the way to last, allowing Jefferson to jump and create some hostility here. So everybody else is bundled up. I am pulling up the caboose. Unfortunately, need a bounce back here. So we start with the Rams and the Ravens. Rams 3-2, Ravens at home 1-4. Rams a touchdown plus favorite. Gentlemen, no analysis for this. Just give me your team and we'll move on. Rams or Ravens in Baltimore, Matt?
Rams.
Dave?
Rams.
LA.
Same? Derek?
Derek's muted.
Derek's muted.
Sorry, gents. Yeah, it should be the Rams.
It should be the Rams. You're right. So Baltimore by 20, but let's go 5-bar on the Rams. Moving down the list here. I've fluctuated back and forth here. Dallas, of course, should win this game, but they're on the road in Carolina. 2-1. They had a tie this year, which is outrageous. I don't know who they tied with, but they had a tie game earlier this season. Carolina 2-3. They just manned up and got the actual loss. I respect that. This game is in Carolina. Dallas, a field goal plus favorite. Matt.
Carolina.
Yep, I'll go Carolina as well.
Dallas.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Dallas as well.
I have Dallas on the sheet. I may change it last minute to Carolina. You guys are making me a little nervous here with their defense being so horrible, but they got to have this win. So I think it's going to be Dallas. Jacoby Brissett's Arizona Cardinals go into Indianapolis in a revenge game. Indy is arguably the hottest, best team in the NFL this season overall. Daniel Jones obviously leading for the Heisman so far. 4-1. They're a touchdown favorite, and the Arizona Cardinals are 2-3. Matt, who you got in Indy?
Indianapolis.
Indy.
The Colts.
Colts keep rolling.
Would you rather have Marshall Faulk or Edgerrin James in the Colts eras for your running back?
Faulk.
Falk with the Rams, Edgerrin with the Colts.
That's where I'm going.
I'll take Eric Dickerson.
Same.
Whoa.
Yep.
Hey.
Yep. Give me high
Look. If you guys are going to bend the rules, I go Joseph Adai all day. But that wasn't the question. So let's back it up a little bit here. All right. 5-bar for the Colts on this one. We expect that one to win. Last one here. We'll get back to your questions. Make sure you drop your start-sit questions here in the chat. And, of course, everybody, you're doing a great job already this morning. Make sure you get us your league settings if you're able to. That helps us tremendously. The Seattle Seahawks, obviously nowhere close to as important as the Seattle Mariners today at 5 o'clock on Fox. But they are heading over to Jacksonville. Duval County is absolutely electric still off of last week's riveting. What was it? Fumble? Was it the
Stumble 6?
I'm sorry, the Stumble 6. Thank you very much. We'll get that T-shirt out for you as well. Jacksonville accidentally 4-1 at home against Seattle 3-2. 1.5-point favorites for Jacksonville at home. Who you got, Matt?
I think I have the Jags. Give me half a second. Give me Jacksonville.
Yeah, actually, Seattle flipped over as the favorite on Friday. So it's Seattle by 1.5 points. I'm still going with the Jags at home. There's the Seattle has had a great defense, but they've got a bunch of banged up secondary players.
Yeah, you already know.
You already know.
Yeah, no words need to be said there. Even though they're crossing the country, Jags. I mean, we've seen this so many times. Come out with a hangover after a big win like that. I can see Seattle going in there and taking it, and I think the odds makers do as well if the right things flipped already. So I'm going to go with Seattle.
Seattle. I am going to go with Jacksonville. I can't go with Seattle. It's weird. But I do think Jacksonville's for real. I hope they keep this going. They're a fun team to watch. Trevor's still not that awesome, but awesome enough so far. So we'll see if he can slow down Sammy D and the boys. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to answer 2 questions personally. I got to step away and wake up the missus here, and I'll be back in just a tune or two. Let's get back to our questions, and we'll get back to our pick'ems here in a little bit as well. All right, Cam, good morning. Derek, we're anchoring down here.
Anchor down.
Morning, guys. Got a nasty one this week. Superflex PPR League. We need one running back between Kamara and Pollard. Then, with Kyler down, we need Brissett, Pollard, Kamara, or Ridley. So, can we confirm this? Is this one question, or we're picking a running back and Superflex? How are we reading this?
Yeah.
That one?
That's
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt, go ahead.
Give me Kamara at running back over Floor Pollard. We have discussed the fact that
Thanks, Cam.
His run matchup is not great. So I will take Kamara over Pollard. By the way, Kamara is now listed as fully healthy for the game.
Yikes.
And I'm going to start Jacoby Brissett. I'm all in on Brissett today.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pollard. Kamara's got a bulky ankle, and actually New England is decent in giving up PPR points to running backs. So it's going to be Pollard in the running back spot, and down in the super flex. I hate going away from quarterbacks, but I'm going to go with Ridley here.
Yeah, Cam, I'm in the same boat as you, brother. So I lost Kyler. I have Kamara as well. I'm trying to decide between those two. But for the running backs, I'm gonna go with Alvin, and then for the super flex, this is tough. I'm gonna go Ridley as well.
Yeah, this is a nasty one. I'm gonna go with Kamara. He's actually not a bad zone rushing matchup there against New England, and he's relatively healthy, and where he'll have some split carries, but he'll get enough work. So I'll go with Kamara, running back, and you don't have to go with the quarterback in the super flex to win, but I do like Brissett a little more than the other options there, even though we all like Ridley, right? So, but no, I'm going to go with Brissett. So I'll go Kamara and Brissett. Anchor down.
I have Kamara in 90% of my leagues. I'm a Kamara guy. I had a bold prediction that none of us are going to remember by the end of the season, which is exciting. It's unfortunate. I hope he gets traded to the Chiefs immediately. We'll have that happen in a couple of weeks. Till it does, I'm worried about starting him, but I have my concerns about Pollard coming back as well. So, and Tyjae Spears is back. He kind of snuck in there. He only had 4 opportunities last week, but he's healthy again. I thought he might be out for the year when he got injured. So he's back and taking some work away too. So I'll go Kamara reluctantly, but that'll be it. And then I'm going to go Brissett there as well. So I'll go Kamara and Brissett. I just don't want to go all in on Calvin Ridley. All right, Michael. Matt, really quick, you said you're all in on Brissett today. Respect. I appreciate your commitment there. When you're talking brisket, are you a sauce or a dry rub guy?
I think I go dry rub, and then I'll dip it in a little bit of sauce, but I'm not putting sauce over the top of it. But I think
sauce on the side, not to saturate.
Yeah, yep, and I prefer it a little bit spicier, the sauce.
Sure, understand. All right, Michael, good morning. Need a defense. Not much to pick from here in the league, but we need one. Saints, Buccaneers, Bears, Cowboys, 49ers. Styles also had a defensive question this week. We are here for your defense and kicker needs, folks, so don't be shy about those questions. We're streaming a defense here, gentlemen. What are we thinking?
I'm going to actually play the Saints defense.
Saints going up against the New England Patriots at home. Dave?
Yeah, Bears and Dallas go right out the window. They're 2 of the worst defenses in the league. I'm going to go with the Saints over either Tampa or the 49ers.
Of course, the Bucs and Niners playing each other there as well, so that should be a good game. Jeff?
I'm going to go Tampa. Mac Jones is coming in with an oblique injury. He's healthy.
Mac Jones?
Okay.
And Ricky P is out, the best receiver in the NFL.
Correct.
And, I don't know. I think Tampa is the play. The Saints aren't bad, but we saw what Drake May did, I think we're forgetting how well he played against the Bills. And all the other options are no options for me, so I'm going to roll with Tampa on this one.
Yeah, I agree with Jeff. Tampa at home.
I unfortunately agree with Jeff as well. Obviously, I'm a Niner homer, but facts is facts. The Niners are tainted. If they somehow come out of this one with an actual dub, I'd be shocked. So I think Baker and the boys are going to have a nice day against the Niners. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay there as well. Historically good against the run. McCaffrey's going to get his 12 receptions, but what can he do with them? We'll see. All righty. This is going to be my last question, gentlemen, just for a second. I'll step away just for 2 or 3. So whomever would like to step up here, please be ready for that after this one. Apples. It sounds like a – let's see, Apples. It's almost like retro. We're talking about 1996 AOL before the apps. You know what I mean? This is almost like a mindset, like a state of being back in the good old days. Yeah, great times. Would you trade away Kyron and Terry McLaurin for Saquon and Nico? Wow, this should be huge names, but it's not necessarily been huge production. Interesting question here. Would you trade away Kyron Williams and Terry McLaurin for Saquon Barkley and Nico Collins? 2 points per 10 rush yards, BT dubs. That's exciting. So you get an extra yard. So basically a point every 5 yards. Matt?
I would make the trade if I'm going to acquire Saquon and Nico. And here's the reason. The Eagles are going to have to get back to being the Eagles. And they're going to have to give Saquon the ball. Nico, if you accept the trade at the right point in time, will already be past his bye. Terry is injured, and we don't know how long that's going to continue. I like Kyron the best of the 4 players today, but this is not a today question. This is a tomorrow question. So my answer is yes, I would trade away Kyron and McLaurin for Saquon and Nico.
Yeah, as disappointing as Barkley has been, and Kyron is always underrated, but Terry for Nico is it just tips the scale way over for me. Yeah, you can. I'll take that trade if I'm getting Saquon and Nico.
Jeff,
what a question! Week 6, we're talking about should we acquire Saquon Barkley or not? I didn't think this would come up. But yeah, the answer is yes for me. Saquon, they got to get back to basics in Philly. I think Nico is trending upwards now that the Texans offense is finally getting healthier. So yeah, I think it's a no-brainer for me.
I want to say no. I really want to, but no, I can't. In fact, I haven't put it out yet, but I've been working on rest of season running back matchup calculations, and I'm looking at the fantasy playoffs. And as of the early season data, the Rams have the hardest running back schedule during the fantasy playoffs. So that may change a little bit as we get going, get more data. But no, I would make the trade. I would go with Saquon and Nico.
This is really a no-brainer for me. Kyron's awesome, but if he doesn't score, he hasn't been. Saquon's been the same, but if Saquon gets right, he can be fine without scoring. Nico and Terry is not even a conversation. I mean, Terry's not playing. And Debo's far and away the best receiver and option there in Washington. So I don't even know if that changes when Terry comes back anyway. So this is easy peasy for me. Apples. We're all going to take this trade, smash it before they watch our program and decide to take it down.
And a quick update on Terry. There is some speculation up here that he will be back next week, for what it's worth.
Yeah, it might be, but how often do we see this? My boy Ayuk pulled this stunt and might do it again, right? They come back and they're healthy. They've missed a bunch of training camp. They come back late, halfway through the season. At best case scenario, he's sluggish for a week or two. You know what I mean? I'm concerned about that. Nico should be just fine. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to step away here. Please fill the gap, and I'll be back in just a few minutes.
I'm watching this game with Beach right now.
Yeah, me too.
My eye, and I agree. It's awful. Cortland Sutton has 2 targets.
Yeah,
they're down by a point in overseas to an 0-5 team. This is ridiculous. I don't know what they're doing. Bo Nix, the current stat, has 0 passing yards in the second half. Jaleel McLaughlin is playing and RJ Harvey is not. It makes no sense. Last week, Sean Payton played Tyler Batty, whatever his name is, over Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. This does not make any sense to me. So discuss amongst yourselves. But yeah, fire Sean Payton. They'll never do it. But this looks terrible right now. Just awful.
How about fire Roger Goodell and the greedy owners for these jerk off friggin' international games?
Well, if John Gruden has anything to say, he might get fired.
Yeah, if the Jets win by 3 field goals with 3 field goals and a safety, yeah, we need to have a conversation about the Broncos. They're not who we thought they were.
No. This is so bad. I mean, it's just so bad. The running back carousel they're doing, like you're passing downs and you're not throwing to RJ Harvey. Like, I don't understand.
All right. It's time to move on. Let's look at this next question with Josh. Plug in Ridley over Debo. What do you think, Matt?
I've been trying to find news on Debo. There's a lot of rumors going around that he may not be ready to go and completely healthy, but I haven't found anything that is clear and concise that says Debo is in, Debo is out. So if you're at all nervous about the Monday night matchup and the injury and getting bad news late, then start Ridley and be safe.
Yeah, Ridley's probably a viable option. There is no clear news on Debo. The only thing I know is he's been dealing with this heel injury for a couple of weeks, and most weeks he's been resting like the first 2 practices and then like a full practice on the 3rd day. This week he rested on the first day. They got him a limited practice on the 2nd day, and then they rested him again on Saturday. I don't know if that means anything, but if you're nervous about Debo, for me, Ridley is a viable substitute.
Yeah, it's hard to risk it with the uncertainty. Ridley has a really great matchup. I think you got to play it safe and go with Ridley.
Yeah, I agree. I'm playing it safe as well with Ridley. No question.
Was I hearing that correctly there? The update from London as I stepped away. Was that Salty Dave making an appearance there?
That was Salty Dave, man. Let's fire everybody.
I'm in it, man. Let's turn it around. But how about the NFL in Vegas though with this new marriage, dude? It's I think with this game, if it goes this way, it really will be predictable, where the underdog who literally has no fucking chance to even be on the field gets the dub, right? And just scraping all the cat. Like, it's becoming more and more predictable these days. Pretty wild.
Well, I think Derek was the one that was talking about a hangover the week after a big win. Maybe that's Denver here.
Sure. Let me bring you back to the late 90s, gentlemen. I'm in this 1996, man. Glory days. You got the Mariners on fire. You got the Jags on fire. Let's go Rob Smith of the Denver Broncos, Rob Smith, or Wayne Chrebet of the Jets. Who would you like to have on your fantasy team right now? Matt, I'll go with you first.
I loved Chrebet, but he was more of a fun story. I would take Hot Rod Smith.
Yeah, Chrebet was bargain basement Wes Welker. Rod Smith,
the original,
much more reliable. I'd go with Rod Smith.
Yeah, Hot Rod Smith. And are you bashing the great Wes Welker? Just curious there. He's a Red Raider, so be careful.
I just said bargain basement Wes Welker. I didn't say anything about Wes Welker.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been Smith for me as well.
Okay. Shout out Ed McCaffrey as well, playing quite well for the 49ers. I mean, the Broncos there as well. All right, epic fail. We're back. Half PPR, my boy Jennings, who is healthy enough to play, and Higgins. We talked a few weeks ago about the D and then the apostrophe, like DeAndre. I think this is Higgins. Am I saying that correctly? Matt, who you got?
think you're muted.
I am muted. Give me T. Higgins. I think that it's going to be Flacco and Higgins more today than it will be Flacco and Jamar Chase. So was that a tab? Is that a West Coast tab?
No, it's a bubbly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give me Higgins. Jennings is dinged up, and we don't know what we're going to him. Give me full, healthy Higgins in a game script where they're going to be throwing the football.
Yeah, I would say Jennings and Higgins has to prove it to me, but Jennings is barely breathing. It's like every time he gets hit and hits the turf, he's wincing and rolling around in agony. The Niners are just broken. I'm going to go with Higgins.
Yeah, I'm going to go Higgins as well, reluctantly.
Same for me. I'll go with Higgins. I'm counting on some volume today and a little bit more to Higgins than what we've seen the last few weeks. So I'll roll with Higgins. I mean, Jennings could be out there, but I mean, he could be gone. I hate to say it, but the way things are rolling there, he could be in the blue tent in the first quarter and be done. So it's just too much risk there for me. I'll go with Higgins.
Yeah, literally broken. Dude's got like a cracked rib, and it's happened a couple weeks. Plus, Mac Jones is
who?
Mac Jones. I mean, yeah, Niners are hurting. I'm gonna go T. Higgy as well, man. I really need I need a Calvin Ridley game out of T. Higgins. That's where we're at. Good grief. Next question.
Hopefully not week 3, Calvin Ridley.
Good Lord. GR. Welcome back, buddy. Half PPR. Bucky and Hampton are out and more, of course. 'Tis 2025 fantasy football. Pick 2 running backs and a flex. Judkins, Rico Dowdle, 200 rush yards, Rico Dowdle, folks. Bill, Floor Pollard, or Jacoby. That's Jacoby Myers. I think that's my order and preference, but thoughts?
That's my order as well. For sure, Judkins, Dowdle, and Bill for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go I think I'm going to go the same. I think the Bears are a bad enough matchup that I like Krosky Merritt over Pollard. I don't even trust the Raiders offense at all, even with all the injuries that they have. It's just terrible there. So give me the first 3 as well.
Yeah, no, same with me. It's those 3. Yeah. And sorry about the Bucky. I lost Bucky too.
Yeah, same for me. These 3. I'll just kind of point out. I mentioned before rest of season rankings. The same time I looked at the next 4 weeks, and I remember texting Matt at one point because we were Chuba Hubbard owners in our shared team. That the Carolina Panthers had the number 2 best running back matchup for the next 4 weeks, and we're seeing Rico Dowdle be the beneficiary to that. So I love this matchup for him. It is a revenge game as well. So Judkins, Dowdle for sure, and I like Bill this week. So that's my order.
Judkins, Dowdle, Bill for me as well. Half PPR, I kind of automatically go running backs and then try to convince myself otherwise with wide receivers and tight ends, and this one's pretty easy.
Alrighty, fellas, I got to drop.
All right, brother. Thank you very much, man. Enjoy the Mariners game tonight.
Absolutely. Go
Have a good week, Jap.
Y'all too, fellas.
Cosmo, welcome back. Chase Brown, Swift, half PPR. We've done this one already, I believe, correct?
We did. Yep.
Yeah, I think the majority went with everybody went with Swift, yeah?
Swift.
Yes, correct. No problem dropping the second question. I will tell you, though, and not that Cosmo did it this way. He's a long time, so I know he knows the rules. We get delayed about 15, 20 minutes on your questions by answering them. The clock kind of continues to tick as we answer them. So when you drop a question to us at X time, say it's, 10:15 your time, we probably won't get to it till 10:30, 10:40 sometimes. It's not intentional. It's just how things roll. So if it's been a while, plugging your question a second and third time, we get it. We see them, but it doesn't necessarily help speed up the process per se. We do go in order, first come, first serve. If you'd like to jump the line at any time, you're more than welcome to drop us a super chat, just a couple bucks to help support Matt's flight west for the Mariners World Series in a couple weeks, and we'd be happy to jump the line. Otherwise, we will get to every single question. Always have, always will. Next man up. Sean, good morning. Half PPR, sit to. I love these. I love the old bench question versus start sit question. We should reframe it to start sit bench show maybe. Sit to Bijan Robinson, James Cook, Devon Achane, Rico Dowdle, or Bill. Sit to, gentlemen.
I don't think you can sit Bijan, so he's off my list. I don't think you can sit Achane, so he's off my list. This is ridiculous that this roster exists. I don't believe you can bench Cook, but you have to bench Cook to get the Dowdle matchup against Dallas. So, yeah, and Monday night and Thursday night and overseas games are weird. So let me just take the Monday night guys off the list. Let me sit Cook and Bill. Don't love it, but if we got to sit two, those are the two I'm leaning towards.
Yeah. I just need to interject here. This game is setting NFL offenses back 80 years. Fire everybody. This is just horrid football. I'm going to sit two guys. I'm going to sit Merritt, and I'm going to sit Achane. Actually, the Chargers are a pretty good run defense in PPR, so I'm gonna go with or half PPR too. I'm gonna go with Achane and Bill to sit.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. Those are my two sits as well. And I was just looking at Achane's matchup, and that's actually not as good of a matchup as we think there. So, yes, I will start Bijan, Cook, and Dowdle, sit Achane and Cosby Merritt.
Wow. Achane just gets so much work. Dowdle was awesome. I get it, obviously. I don't think I can do it. I'm going to go with the first three, so I'll sit the final two. I'll sit Dowdle and Bill. Stellar options, and enjoy your riches, Sean. Maybe you can't go wrong with this, but I appreciate you bringing all these to the table. Also, I randomly, in College Game Day, all these highlights yesterday, I randomly saw some Dalvin Cook, Florida State highlights, just kind of in a montage of shit. Whew. Dude, awesome. Awesome Dalvin Cook. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. Like lightning, full PPR. Who am I starting out of these tight ends? Fannin, Pitts, Tonjes, or Barner? Matt?
Oh, it's a rough morning. Sorry, guys. I'm half here, half not. Apologies to everybody that's listening or not listening. It should be Pitts, but I am going to – no, I'm going to go with Pitts. To me, Tonjes is a very close second. It would probably be Tonjes if Jawan Jennings was not playing. So give me Pitts.
Yeah, I'd like to say Fannin because Pittsburgh's a pretty good matchup for tight ends, but you've got Njoku there, so it's kind of like, you're fighting for targets with Dylan Gabriel as the quarterback and Njoku as a fellow tight end. I'd like to say Pitts, but Buffalo is pretty damn tough against tight ends. I'm going to go with Tonjes here. I think he's probably got the best matchup among all of these guys. So I'm going to say Tonjes.
I'm leaning Tonjes as well. Really the same reasons that Dave just said. With the two-headed monster in Cleveland, and we already know the The quarterback only throws about 5 yards down the field. So, splitting targets and low air yards doesn't speak very high for second tight end. Same with Pitts, a real good matchup there. So yeah, I like the matchup a little better and the usage actually with Tonga. So I'll go that way.
Go Niners. I'll go with Tongas as well. I will say Barner's been playing nice, and he's an option, but I'm gonna go Tongas too. Jets fan, got to be loving this game? Question mark. Dave, what do you think? Jets fan loving this game in London, or
fire everybody? If you say you like this game, you're fired too.
Fucking let's go. I mean, let's go.
Hey, it's late in the fourth quarter, and they have a chance for their first win. He's got to love it.
Yeah, Jets fans fired up. This might end the program, and we might get fired if this happens. But Derek, what I'd like to see, and let me know if you would as well. I'd like to see pre-lunch bourbon styles back on the program with Salty Dave, and just kind of chopping it up, reminiscing old school, talking modern times ball, maybe classic rock music, whatever you'd like. But that's maybe a sub-bar podcast in the future. Thoughts, Derek?
Yeah, and if we can just mix in a ginger cameo for just a few minutes, that would really just bring that dish together.
Special guests are always welcome on the program. I like that a lot. We'll table that. I'll run that up the chain, see if we can make it happen. But that sounds like a good combo. Jets fan, good morning and good luck. You're almost there. Trade question, full PPR. We need one running back depth. Trade Michael Carter, Trey Benson, Cortland Sutton, and Aaron Rodgers. Get Charbonnet, Hubbard, and Herbert. A lot going on here. I'll do it one more time while you guys read it out. Full PPR trade question. Looking for running back depth. Trading Michael Carter, Trey Benson, Cortland Sutton, and Aaron Rodgers. Getting Charbonnet, Hubbard, and Herbert. If I'm reading this correctly, we're trading 2 running backs to get 2 running backs. Matt, go ahead.
The best player in the trade is normally the player I want to acquire. This might be out the window because the Jets fan is talking about running backs being his need. But to me, the best player is Cortland Sutton. Not today, but that's Sean Payton's fault. By the way, just had a target in the end zone, and it was incomplete, and then they kicked a field goal. So our Cortland Sutton stock, Derek, is down again. That's wonderful to see. The second best player on this list is Herbert. Chuba, we need him back soon. I don't think Charbonnet is really a running back. He is depth at best. He's not a starter in fantasy. However, neither is Trey Benson right now, who's on the IR, and he didn't look great when he did play. All of that to say this, I have no problem with the deal. If you're going to land Herbert and Hubbard and basically give up Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, for me, you're just giving up some pieces, parts, and Cortland Sutton to get Chuba Hubbard and Justin Herbert. Like Matt says, Hubbard's hurt right now, but when he gets back, I don't think Rico Dowdle's going to wrestle that backfield away from him. I think he might get a few more carries, and they might give Hubbard a little less work to keep him healthy. But I like all of those guys better than Michael Carter, Trey Benson, and Aaron Rodgers. So, I'll give up Sutton to get those other guys.
Same here. I'm happily switching those quarterbacks, and even though Hubbard's injured right now and Charbonnet's in a timeshare, I would still rather have either one of them than Carter and Benson at this point. So yeah, I'm the same. I'll give up Sutton to upgrade running back and quarterback.
I love it. I'm just kind of waiting. Ken Walker's been awesome. I'll give him his flowers while he deserves it. Charbonnet is equally as good, in my opinion, with the opportunity. Hubbard, when he comes back healthy, will be fine. I'm a Herbert homer. I like Trey Benson a lot, but he's out. Michael Carter, who knows if he's going to maintain it. Cortland Sutton not playing the Jets is just fine, but Aaron Rodgers, legend, but not anymore. So give me the trade. Charbonnet, Hubbard, and Herbert. I like it. Also, shouts out to Jets fan and all of our other devoted listeners and followers for all of our listener leagues. I personally have been destroyed in all of them. The 2 PPR leagues we have, I'm garbage. Guillotine, I was out week 1. Jeff and Dave and Derek have followed suit. So, Matt, I'm just curious. Can you give us an update from the Guillotine League? Is everyone still happy? How's the vibes over there? What are you guys thinking?
Actually, Dave's still in it, though.
Oh, Dave's still in it. Dave's been on the chopping block.
Yeah, the carcass of Dave is hanging in there.
Okay. Hey, that's all you need with Guillotine, man. Just keep going.
Well, and to me, Jeff was in with me as well. RJ Harvey's not playing, and he's a starting running back on my Guillotine League team, along with DeAndre Swift, who we've had those questions. So this might be the week. I may not move on. Now, however, there were 4. What did I tell you, Derek? I sent you a text. I know you've been busy. There were 4 teams that finished Thursday night below 9 points. There were 2 in the 20s, 2 in the 30s. And then you've got games like Nix is probably starting for someone. Cortland Sutton's probably starting for someone. Fields, Garrett Wilson, right? Those guys are all shitting the bed right now. So this bodes well for those of us that do not have players in this Denver Jets game and did not have or had Philly players as well, because the Philly players were not great. So yeah, G League is the most stressful waiver wire I've ever dealt with. And for the nerds that are getting up at 3 a.m, I hate you, but it is what it is. I'm not getting up at 3 to get on that waiver wire, but it's clear that some people are. So more power to them. 1:20 left in the game, and the Jets are driving.
Oh, I mean, always Fields. That's what I've always said. I've always said always Fields. The guy's a gamer, making it happen. And how about Nick Folk? Let's get him on my fantasy roster. Also, I am repping the Denver defense today. Pop quiz: how many sacks do the Denver Broncos have this morning?
30?
67.
Less than 67, more than 4. One more guess. 5, not quite. 6, 7 sacks, gentlemen. 7 sacks, and they might lose. Unbelievable. All right, let's get back to the program. Just had to give a shout out to Jets fan who unfortunately also met the demise of the Guillotine League last week, but we appreciate everyone sticking around. And we don't eliminate we eliminate your team. So you're welcome to hang out in the chat and keep the camaraderie going should you get eliminated in the G League. We appreciate all y'all. B Silva. Looks like a Brewers logo in the.
That's what I'm seeing
Brewers?
as well.
It's just kind of small. I can't really tell.
Yeah.
That's a Brewers logo in the icon there. Start 2 flex, 1 tight end in a PPR. We got Jamo Horton. Wow, the rare Horton sighting. Travis Hunter, Dobbs we talked about earlier, Charbonnet we just talked about, Tonjes we just talked about, and he only catches touchdowns. Pretty much Chris Carter, Darren Waller.
Matt, you muted.
Good God. Somebody fire me, Dave. Give me Dobbs, Tongas.
No problem.
No problem.
Dobbs, Tongas, and Waller for me.
Yeah, fun fact, Horton's got more PPR points than Jamo. So it's a sad fact of life. I'm going to go with Sharbs. I'm going to go with Waller. I'm going to go with Tongas. I know Dobbs had a great week in week 5, but he had like 5 catches for 40 something yards without the 3 touchdowns. So I'm going to go with Sharbs, Tongas, and Waller. Horton just doesn't get the ball enough. Neither does Hunter, and neither does Jamo.
I know that Detroit Kansas City game to me feels like 60 plus total points. Easy.
Supposed to be.
Yeah. It feels like it could easily be.
Hey, another sack for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Make it 8, baby.
Yeah. I think whoever has the ball last wins that game, and both teams are in the 30s. So I like I'm gonna go with JMO this week because I just think, unlike the game that we're watching right now, I just think there's going to be a lot of fantasy production possible. So I want to try to get a piece of that. So I'll go JMO. I like Tungus at tight end, and I'm gonna go Charbonnet as well. So JMO, Charbonnet, and Tungus.
Yeah. Same. I just haven't seen the other guys do it, and I'm not going to chase Dobbs. So I'll go JMO, Charbonnet, and Tondras as well. Harbaugh's back. One more question. Full PPR. Who do I start between DJ Moore at Washington, Calvin Ridley at the Raiders? Thanks, guys. Have a good day. You're very welcome. We've talked a lot about Calvin Ridley. Haven't mentioned DJ Moore since the season started. Shout out Roma Dunze, but we don't root for Huskies. DJ Moore at Washington, Calvin Ridley at Raiders. We've talked at length about Ridley. We all like him. I'll put it this way. Is anybody starting DJ Moore over Calvin Ridley today? No. Thumbs down, Dave? Yeah, okay. Calvin Ridley it is. Epic Fails back. PPR pick 3. Pickens, Debo, Keenan Allen, Henry, and Adunze. Man, how about a wide receiver room? Good. It's like Ohio State over here.
Not muted. Adunze. Thank you. Adunze for sure. Keenan Allen for sure with Quentin Johnston sitting. Debo we've talked about. We're a little bit nervous about this Monday night game. I think Carolina-Dallas is going to be a little more competitive than most folks think. So I'm going to go Pickens. And because it's PPR, I'm okay sitting Derrick Henry. And it looks like the Broncos won 13-11. So everybody that took the quadruple under has just won 4 times their money.
And World War II just ended, so
it sure did. What an absolute mess. Derek, have you checked in on Sutton?
I have not, and I don't want to.
I'm happy to, Matt. Give me 1 second. I just had it pulled up here. Let's see.
I'm guessing 2.7.
2.7 on 3 targets. Not
the third
bad.
one was in the end zone.
I knew he would get sauced, but this horrendously, sheesh.
And RJ Harvey and Guillotine gave me 6.5, so that's awesome.
That one doesn't make sense. If I'm a coach, my goal would be to play my best players and give them the ball because that's how you score points. But sometimes it doesn't work out like that. Yikes. Denver 13. Oh, Dave, we missed one. We're up to 9 total sacks here for the Denver Broncos this morning. That's 9.
Yeah, well, the way Fields holds onto the ball, it could have been 19.
So I'd say maybe hashtag fade Fields after 2 blow-up games. All right. How are we feeling here? We got a great wide receiver room.
I'm going with Adunze and Keenan Allen in lieu of waiting for Debo. I don't really love the Pickens matchup against the outside Carolina cornerbacks. That looked like they were questionable coming in, but they're both active today. So I'm going to eliminate Pickens and Debo. And this Henry, is this Derrick Henry or Hunter Henry?
It's got to be Derrick Henry.
Because if it's Hunter Henry, I'm picking Hunter Henry. If it's Derrick Henry, I'm still going to pick Derrick Henry. I just don't trust Debo or Pickens enough to sit them in lieu of these other guys. I mean, to start them in lieu of these other guys.
Now, who would you take, Hunter Henry or Derrick Henry?
I'd take both of them over Debo.
No. If it was just between the two of them, which Henry do you take?
Today, I'd take Hunter Henry.
Yeah. Did we ever?
Where the hell are we?
Yeah. Who had the over under on that one?
Fuck. Fire Lamar Jackson.
No, I'm going to
fire
go.
Lamar's hamstring into the sun.
Exactly.
Hamstrings suck.
I too am on Odunze. I think that's a lock. Just plug him in. Don't even consider otherwise. Keenan Allen as well, for the reasons we mentioned earlier. I like him and Ladd especially a lot today. And I will go Pickens because I just think the volume is going to be there. And we already heard that the Rams have not yielded a running back touchdown all year, and there's not much coming out of Baltimore that suggests that that's going to change. So give me Pickens, Allen, and Odunze here.
Yeah, I agree. Hard to sit Debo. You know what? It's like I'm gonna go Debo, Allen, and Odunze. I know the Cowboys are on fire, but offensively. But the Panthers, man. Panthers show up at random times and they might slow them down a little bit. So I'm gonna go Debo, Keenan Allen, and Odunze, assuming Debo's healthy enough. Matt, guest appearance from your boy. I think it's been about 2 or 3 months. Do you want to just introduce this full question? Go for it.
All right. So our favorite Lions fan, he has checked in. He didn't check in after week 1. That was interesting, but we'll let that slide. PPR need 1 at the flex: Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker the third, or T. Higgins. PPR, I'm going to go volume based here, and I think it's going to be Kenneth Walker. But if Uncle Joe is Uncle Joe, T. Higgins could have a good game script alone. But I'm going to go. Yeah, me too. I'm with you. I'm going to go Kenneth Walker based on what I believe perceived volume for him over Charbonnet in that matchup. They've got to keep Baker off the field, but that was last week. So give me Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I love Sharbs, but most of his production, he hasn't been doing a lot in yardage. A lot of his production has been coming on touchdowns, and I hate to count on touchdowns. I think Walker's going to have at least an equal volume as Sharbs. Well, I'm a little bit concerned about T. Higgins. It's just has not been. He got the bag, and I think he's taken it and gone to the bank. So I'm going to go with Walker as well.
Yeah, it's clearly going to be one of the 2 Seattle running backs. They both have great matchups as far as their running style. Actually, I think the numbers suggest that Charbonnet has a little bit better matchup than Walker. He's last week in versus Tampa, he had a few more snaps as well. He catches the ball out of the backfield a little bit more. If I had to pick, I would lean Charbonnet, actually, but either one, whichever one you feel best about, go with one of the Seattle backs.
Yikes. I just want to manifest T. Higgins. No, man. I'm going to. T. Higgins, but I like all 3 of these guys, and I think that you'd be fine starting any of them. I know that doesn't help you. But
I hope your manifest is correct.
Me too, man.
He has to make up for Portland Sutton.
Yeah. Well, a lot of us do. Savage, good to see you again, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. Maverick? No. Gino or Brissett?
No is the correct answer.
You got Michael Penix on the waiver line.
I'm going to go Brissett. No Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Brissett as well. I think I don't like either one, but Gino is just a train wreck, and so are the Raiders.
Yeah, make it 3.
Brissett for me. Boom. Maverick, shout out. Epic fail. Who is kicker of the week? Our fearless leader Bob Lamarco has retired. He's off to brighter sunsets. So we don't have a kicker of the week. I believe that Matt kind of has a default McManus. I like that.
He got injured in practice on Thursday. They signed
disregard.
They signed somebody to the name escapes me, to the active roster. So I would probably stay away from McManus today. Derek, we have a favorite kicker, but he's rostered everywhere in Brandon Aubrey. I saw Chase McLaughlin on the wire, and I believe that Little, the kid from Jacksonville, is available in many leagues as well. But right now, just take the indoor game with the highest implied total.
Yes.
So for those of you curious, that is Lucas Havrasik.
Yes, former Rams great.
Go ahead, Dave.
That's okay. I know who I'm rooting for, but it's going to be a slop fest down there. But I'm rooting for Eddie Pinheiro. I had to jettison some kickers this week, so he was readily available. Surprisingly, he's been scoring points in bunches per week. He's got one less game than a lot of the guys, but I'm going to go with Pinheiro.
Love it.
Yeah, I'll take your guys' advice on this. I really haven't looked at kickers at all, so
Let's just get Younghoe Koo a job again. I doubt he's available, but I'm always a dicker guy. So you can get my boy Cam. I call him Cammy D for short. You can get him launching some bombs for you. I like that matchup usually. All right, back nine, Ronnie. Good morning. My man stepped off his tea time just to send us a question here. Good morning, fellas. With Lamar out, there's May, Lawrence, Geno, Stafford to choose from. I'm leaning more towards May and Stafford just because I have the matchup this week. Thoughts, gents?
I like Stafford over May, but I have no issue with starting May at New Orleans. I think that game's going to be a little bit more competitive than what Vegas thinks. So, but I prefer Stafford over May this week. Baltimore is decimated. They're in bad shape. And by the way, Baltimore has run up the score on teams over the last few years, right? They've been dropping 40 on people. I think if Sean McVay gets a big chance to throw a middle finger at one of the Harbaugh brothers in a game that they can continue to just rout, they're going to continue to put points on the board. Leave no doubt is the way I look at it.
Yeah, I have no issue with Stafford, but I'm leaning a little bit towards May on indoors in the Superdome. But it's Stafford. It's not far apart between Stafford and May for me.
yeah, I'm with Dave. It's May over Stafford in this one.
I got Drake May everywhere. I'm going to go with him as well. It could be a little sloppy out there with the weather, too, in Baltimore. Geno, no chance. And, again, Lawrence is fun, but not that great yet. So I'm going to go with May as well.
Yeah.
Salvage, Denver won with the update like that.
Confirming the 9 sacks.
Damn, 9 sacks. Love it. Shout out to Back 9 Ronnie. Official Salvage. Any other questions? Gerard? We got T, Charbonnet, and Bourne. We've got a handful of these we've already talked about here. PPR.
Well, Mac Jones sure loves Kendrick Bourne. And I think Kendrick Bourne had 1 drop last week on 11 targets, 10 receptions, 142. Didn't find the end zone, but it's going to be a game where they throw again. But I'm going to manifest T. Higgins as well. I don't have a problem with either one. I am not starting Charbonnet. I don't know why we get so many Charbonnet questions, especially this week. Maybe it's because of injuries and 2 buys, but Charbonnet is not a starting running back in the NFL, and he's not a starting running back for fantasy. So stop with Charbonnet. He's not a thing, albeit Derek is still hoping that it happens.
I'm still hoping. I'll claim Charbonnet. That's fine. Derek, I got you. I'll claim Charbonnet.
1 injury to Kenneth Walker, and it changes, but there has not been any indication that Charbonnet is going to be the guy this year in Seattle. So give me T slightly over Bourne.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm with Matt. I'd love to throw Sharps out there, but he's just not a complete volume guy. And I think T and Bourne are probably better plays today.
I feel like I got to defend a little bit here. Charbonnet is averaging 12 rushes per game. And if I look at it and I do quick math here, Kenneth Walker is about 15 rushes per game tops. So to say that he's not would be also to say Kenneth Walker is not a fantasy starter. So I think there's an argument to be made. And just really kind of the fact that, Kenneth Walker is only averaging 1 target per game, just over that. And, we saw in the last couple, Charbonnet's getting at least two. So there's a little bit more work in the passing game for Charbonnet over Walker. So they're pretty much even. If you don't have, as long as you don't have both of them, like we just saw a few minutes ago, one of those two is probably a flex play or even a RB2 play during these bye weeks. So just to say stop with Charbonnet, I can't endorse that. That being said, he's not going to be my pick here. I like Bourne and I like T. I think Bourne is probably the safer play, but I too am trying to manifest a T Higgins game, and I'm hoping Joe can deliver for us. So it's either going to be Bourne or T. I think Bourne's a safer play, but I don't mind T as well.
Get him, Derek. Get him. I love it. Yeah, I mean we've done this multiple times. Oh God. So I'm gonna stick with T. Higgins.
Okay.
Woody the Badger. How we doing on time, gentlemen? We got 8 minutes to kick off.
Last one, and run us out of here, Sky.
Let's get it. Shout out to Wisconsin, probably. Ron Dane, among others. Start 1, full PPR. Bourne, Higgins, and Dobbs. Same question, different day.
Higgins, followed by Bourne, followed by Dobbs.
Yeah, Dobbs doesn't change the calculus for me. I'm going to go with Higgins as well.
Yeah, same. Dobbs doesn't change what we just said. So I think Bourne is a safer play, but I think Higgins is a worthy play as well.
Yep. Let me just stick T. Higgins. That'll be my all-in guy today. Woody the Badger. Good luck. Best of luck, everybody. We appreciate you. That's going to run us out. Gentlemen, we do have the rest of our pick'ems. Make sure those are updated and ready to go. So we have the final options there. Best of luck, everybody, in your week 6. Don't forget to skip Sunday Night Football tonight and watch the Mariners baseball game. Just word to the wise. Shout out to my boy Vladdy Jr., but nobody else. We always have a lot of fun here on the Razzball Fantasy Football Show. You can find everything, of course, on X at Razzball NFL. Subscribe right here to the YouTube channel and find us on the podcast side at the Razzball Fantasy Football YouTube and podcast. And, of course, you can find all of our amazing articles and writers at football.razzball.com. All the tools for free for you right now on the tools. Any other questions, gentlemen? Any other thoughts before we get out of here?
No, let's have a good day. Have some fun.
Go football.
Matt, really quick. Obviously, it's a W, but by how many runs do the Mariners win by tonight?
2.
We'll go 5-3.
Yeah, what I said to my buddies the other night is that we can score 3, we cannot allow 3. That's the way this offense goes.
Oh, my God. Sounds like the Giants.
Yeah.
We didn't score any runs when we won the World Series. We're just pitching.
And I don't know. I haven't checked. I know they left Brian Wu off the prior series. I'd like to see.
He's in.
He's in. Good. He probably will start game 1 then.
Well, we just used 3 starters in the last game in 50 fucking innings.
Yeah, it's a 7-game series now. So
yeah. So
Holy
Wu
shit.
and Bryce Miller will probably take their turn, or Miller will go to the bullpen.
Man, love
All right,
it.
I got to go.
All right,
Daughter's
everybody.
here. She's expecting me to make lunch. Derek, you have a text. We got to decide 7 or 8, not 6, 7, 7, 8.
7. All right, kids. We'll see you next time. We are out of here.